I heard you walk that Freedom Trail. What, you some kind of, what do they call it? History buff?
I heard about your signal interceptor. Now that you found the Institute, I hope you do the right thing.
Doctor, my friend here needs your help.
Oh? I'm not a mechanic. What could she possibly want from me?
Oh, this doctor can help me? Greetings, doctor. I wish to download my data and core programming into a human brain.
You want what? Is she serious?
Don't look at me. It's her idea.
Why do you want this?
I was programmed to further our studies of disease, pathogens, and viruses. I cannot do this with the fundamental limitations of my robotic systems. If I become human, with the wealth of information in my databanks, I hope to do much good for the Commonwealth.
A pre-war robot with your knowledge and skills, plus human cognition. Yes, you could potentially save many lives. It's an interesting problem. The memories wouldn't be hard. We translate those from the brain to computers and back all the time here. It's how the loungers work. Her personality, though. All the extra pieces of robotic, programmed decision-making. A normal organic brain wouldn't know what to do with them. A synth brain, on the other hand, well, it's already somewhere between the two.
What do you know about synths?
To be clear, it may not work. But some synths have cybernetic enhancements that interface directly with their brains. The Institute must have found an interpreter for raw data. That's my hope, at least.
So it is possible, then?
Likely, even. We just need a synth. And I may be able to help with that. I've worked on synths before. Giving them memory wipes so they can live a life free of the Institute. But the procedure isn't always successful. If something goes wrong, it can leave them in a brain-dead state. Living, but with no cognition. I know a caretaker for one of these brain-dead synths. If they're willing, we could try transferring your friend's consciousness into her.
I'd like to try.
We just need her caretaker's consent. Give me a day to get in contact with them. They're understandably cautious, but I think they'll hear me out.
I will stay with the doctor. Assuming all goes well, I want to be ready for the procedure. Hopefully this caretaker will approve of the operation.
Virgil.
I'm going to get some rest.
Protect
Whatever happens,
and serve.
Thank you. We just have to wait.
being a father even more.
I'm glad to see you return safely. I know the task was difficult, but I needed you to see firsthand how dangerous a rogue synth can be.
The Institute created that synth, so the Institute is responsible for what it does.
I disagree. A synth is no more inherently evil than a handgun. When a man dies by gunshot, is the weapon's maker blamed? Of course not. The blame rightly falls on he who pulled the trigger. Yes, we created the synth. But whether they intended to or not, the Railroad's agents turned it into a killer. But enough about that. The task is done. And you've returned our synth safely to us. I couldn't have hoped for a better outcome. Well done. While you were away, I had quarters prepared for you. You'll find all the basic necessities, as well as a generous stock of arms and equipment. Go and have a look. I think you'll be quite pleased.
Your quarters are just inside, ma'am. When you're finished here, ma'am, Father wants to see you.
Remember, health and happiness go hand in hand.
I can't express how truly humbling it is to stand in your presence. Why
Nice
can't a
work
synth
bringing
be a
that rogue
person
synth
too?
back.
I don't really see the
Synth unit, you were scheduled for maintenance duty at SRB last night. Anything you'd like to report?
Nothing to report, sir. I carried out my duties, as usual.
Dr. Ao saw you accessing a terminal. You know you are not permitted to access terminals in that section. Is Dr. Ao mistaken?
Yes. I mean, no, he's not. But I'm only... But I swear it's not what it sounds like. I was cleaning the terminal and it switched on by mistake.
I thought all the surface people looked like monsters. But you seem pretty normal.
It must make you proud to see all that Father has done, all that he has built.
Hello, Mother. Tell me, what would you do when someone has stolen from you?
After everything I've been through to find you, I think you already know.
I'm sorry, Mother. Of course, you're right. The group that calls themselves the Railroad have acquired several synths from the Institute. synths that had gone missing in recent months. They no doubt mean to free these synths, in their delusion that synths are somehow sentient beings. You've been in contact with the Railroad, so you're aware of their misguided beliefs.
They mean well. They're only doing what they think is right.
You dealt with Libertalia. That's the result of their selfish, short-sighted plan. Usually they are a minor nuisance, but lately they have become more emboldened. I'm afraid we've reached the point where a response is necessary. We have learned the current location of these synths, and need to reacquire them before the Railroad can hide them.
Where are the synths located?
A small settlement at the old Bunker Hill Monument. But it's important that we act on this soon, before the Railroad has any indication we've tracked them. We also don't want the Brotherhood of Steel getting wind of the presence of the synths. That would only complicate matters.
Hey, I'll act quickly. You can count on me.
You'll have a contact waiting for you just outside Bunker Hill. Good luck.
I've been waiting for you.
So, what's our situation?
I assume you've been briefed? Our targets are inside. 4 synths under Railroad protection. Majority of the settlement is uninvolved and are expected to run for cover. The situation appears to have escalated. A covert approach is likely impossible. We move in, secure the synths, and I relay out with them back to the Institute. Clear? The mission's parameters just changed. We're going shooting. Requesting backup relay now.
Weapons ready.
Lost.
I've been looking for you.
No, I've got money. It's yours if you let me go.
Contact lost.
What's this about money?
Yes, money. Here. 60 caps. That's all I've got. We're good, right?
Got any more on you?
What? No. I told you. That was all I had.
F633. Initiate reset. Authorization code Delta 62 Arcus.
Here they are.
God, it's a Courser.
Oh no.
Issue the reset codes and we'll relay back to the Institute. Time is critical.
All right, Synth.
Please.
Why don't you want to go back?
I don't know. I wanted my own life, I guess.
C322. Initiate reset. Authorization code Gamma 49 Typhoon. You there, Synth.
Come on, please. Just don't.
Whoa. Why are you so afraid?
I don't want to go back. Please, don't make me go back.
B257. Initiate reset. Authorization code Theta 93 Stratus. No sudden moves.
Please, no.
What's so bad about the Institute?
I couldn't take it anymore.
Y915, initiate reset. Authorization code Beta 77 Tempest.
That's all of them. Objective complete. Return to the town. Make sure all hostiles have been eliminated. I will relay the synths back to the Institute. Report to Father upon your return, and good work.
Hi.
How can a machine believe it's alive? It's ridiculous.
Welcome back. It needs some refinement, but I think we can consider my serum a qualified success.
This is a qualified success?
There were some side effects to the process. I seem to have hair again, and I've retained some muscle mass. The genetic resequencer needs more work. Still, I take your point. This is a significant advance, but only for one strain of FEV. It will take years, perhaps decades, to generalize my formula. Still, you have my gratitude. You're welcome to make use of my lab. Or help yourself to any of this junk, if you want it. In the meantime, I have a lot of experiments to run. Excuse me.
Perfect.
Make yourself at home, such as it is. Did you need something?
Virgil.
Sorry, I'm rather busy right now.
Protect and serve.
From what I hear, that rogue synth at Libertalia was a real menace. Glad it's back where it belongs. Nice work bringing that rogue synth back.
What's that? Actuator damage. What? Scared already? Movement detected.
Attack efficiency decreased. Safety protocol engaged.
Sean?
You know, in all my years, I've never set foot outside the Institute. Not once. Since the day they brought me here. I've never had a reason. But now, this just confirms the truth I've always known. The Commonwealth is dead. There's no future here. The only hope for humanity lies below.
It wasn't always like this. It used to be different.
I can only imagine. Standing here, I'm reminded of how fortunate I am that I was spared a life in this wasteland. I know that to you, I was kidnapped from that vault. In truth, the Institute rescued me. Both of us, really.
But why refreeze me?
As a failsafe, of course. I was the perfect candidate. An infant with uncorrupted DNA. But if something were to go wrong, if I died, Well, the Institute realized a contingency plan was prudent. Another source of pre-war DNA, preferably related to their primary subject. It only made sense that my parents should fill that role. So you were kept alive and safe within the vault. I'll admit, when I had you released from Vault 111, I had no expectations that you'd survive out here in all this. To not only do so, but manage to find me. To infiltrate the Institute itself. Extraordinary.
So it was you. You let me out?
Yes. It was my decision. Certainly it was no longer necessary to keep you suspended. Well, I suppose I wanted to see what would happen. An experiment of sorts. Would the Commonwealth corrupt you, as it has everything else? Would you even survive? Perhaps most curious to me, would you, after all this time, attempt to find me? And now I know the answer.
That's all this is to you? All I am to you? Just another experiment?
No, that's not all. But still, I'm glad it turned out the way it did. There are greater things to come after your success at Bunker Hill. The synths have been safely returned and will be repurposed. Thank you for your work. I hope you weren't at too much risk.
What do you mean, the synths will be repurposed?
Modifications will be made to correct the defects in their programming, and they'll be assigned to new duties within the Institute. Not the first or last time it will happen. The Railroad remains an annoyance, of course, but they'll be dealt with as necessary. And you, well, you've passed the test, as they say. You have done well. Please, take this as a token of my appreciation. Our appreciation, really. It's time for you to become more involved in the future of the Institute. I'd like you to join me inside. The Directorate is meeting, and you should be there. I'll be waiting. I've seen enough. It's time to go back in.
Spend enough time here, and you'll be sick to death of the word synth. I certainly am.
I wouldn't be here if not for your son.
Sounds like those raiders at Libertalia were quite a handful.
I wish you could have known Father as we have.
Let's get this Directorate meeting over with before we speak further. It's important. Good, we're all here. I think it's time we begin.
Sir, excuse me, but what exactly is she doing here?
I will address that issue. But there are other subjects that require our attention first. The level of unrest in the Commonwealth continues to rise, as we're all aware. Your report.
All Institute facilities remain completely secure with the exception of one notable breach. Otherwise, internally, things are as tight as they've ever been. Dr. Ayo has been keeping an eye on things topside.
Yes, Watchers show no additional threats beyond those previously identified. We're still monitoring the increased activity around Fort Independence, but there are no immediate signs we should be concerned. Boston International Airport remains occupied, with Brotherhood presence noted at several other points throughout the Commonwealth. Intelligence suggests that this railroad continues to operate and is becoming more ambitious. SRB agents are monitoring all known situations, sir.
Very good, thank you. It's clear that our safety needs to be the primary concern going forward. To that end, where are we on Phase 3?
Excuse me, but, sir, are you sure this is, well, the proper time to be discussing that? Considering, I mean, given all parties present?
Ah, yes, that's true. Have you heard anything about Phase 3?
What's Phase 3?
It's very important to us. Power is, as I'm sure you've seen above ground, a very valuable commodity. I'm not talking about some abstract concept of control. I mean real, tangible power. The kind that keeps the lights on. With every advance the Institute makes, our need for raw power increases. Many compromises and sacrifices have been made over the years to allow progress to continue.
What kind of compromises?
We have at times had to rely on drawing power from above-ground installations. It risks personnel and equipment, but no longer. Phase 3 is simply the activation of a nuclear reactor that can provide enough power to the Institute now and forever. It will ensure not just our survival, but our prosperity.
Can you tell me more about this reactor?
Certainly. It was originally built for the Commonwealth Institute of Technology before the war, but was only for testing. Over the years, we've advanced the technology, made a great many improvements, and are finally nearly ready to activate it. The reactor is close to ready, but recent tests have determined we have a few tasks ahead of us. Thus, we come to Phase 3, and to how you will help.
Sir?
Yes, Dr. Hale. Previously, we would rely on Kellogg for above-ground operations, yes? Well, he is gone. While I am not overly fond of putting my own mother in harm's way, she has proven more than capable of handling herself.
Yes, but...
This is not a matter for debate. Now, there is one more subject that requires discussion.
I don't know that this is the time.
Dr. Holdren, it is time. Please, as I'm sure several of you are already aware, I have been under Dr. Volkert's care for some time. I'm sorry, this is difficult for me. Our best efforts have failed. Every experimental treatment we could devise has been unsuccessful. I'm sorry to say I am dying.
No! You can't be serious!
Everyone, please. I am sorry. This is not how I wanted to tell you, but we're running out of time.
There must be something we can do to help you.
The only thing that matters now is continuing the Institute's work. It will be all right. I assure you, we can talk more later. Right now, the future of the Institute is at stake. The Institute cannot survive without leadership. The Directorate must continue to govern with the best interest of all in mind. To that end, I am naming my mother as my successor.
Oh, boy.
You can't be serious!
Really?
How can you possibly justify this? She isn't one of us. She isn't even a scientist.
Ignoring your borderline, insubordinate tone, I will simply say this. The Institute has enough scientists. What it needs is a leader. I believe my mother has already proven herself more than capable in that regard. This will conclude this meeting. Thank you.
The Institute is my life. I hope it'll be yours too.
I had no idea.
I know this is... well, it's a lot to take in at once. I'm sorry, Mother. I hope it wasn't too presumptuous of me to put you in charge without even asking first.
What would it mean to be in charge?
Most divisions of the Institute are fairly autonomous, perfectly capable of functioning without intervention. Where those divisions interact, however, problems can arise. You'd lead the Directorate in setting policy, resolving disputes, and the like. There's no question that some of the Directorate, and the Institute at large, will need reassurances about your appointment. That's why I'd like you to take charge of this latest operation. Dr. Fillmore can fill you in on the details. There are hard decisions ahead, for all of us. But for you especially. I know that you'll do the right thing.
Big shitstorm at Bunker Hill, huh? As long as the Institute took a licking.
What? You need something to take the edge off?
Oh, enjoying yourself in Good Neighbor? It's a heck of a town, ain't it?
You're the one that wants to use G519's body? I just don't have the caps to keep her alive anymore. Life support ain't easy or cheap, you know? I was gonna pull the plug on her. What you're proposing sounds a little better. Better than letting her rot.
What do you think she would want?
Damned if I know. It's not like I even knew her before. Since G5 has no one else, for what it's worth, you have my consent.
Thank you. I know this must be difficult.
Yeah. I'll leave you to it.
Curie, let's begin. Curie, terminate all non-essential operations.
Affirmative.
All right. Connection complete. I have access to your friend's memories. G5's already been prepped, so this shouldn't take long. Yes. There.
My chest... What is happening?
Just breathe. It's an autonomic function. Just let your body do what it must.
I feel so strange.
Listen to me. Can you hear me? What is your name?
My designation is Contagions Vulnerability Robotic Infirmary Engineer. Or Curie.
Is that really you, Curie?
Yes. You sound so different with these ears.
Good. Very good. Now let's test some cognitive functions. What is 1 + 2?
3.
If I threw a baseball at your head, what would you do?
Move.
Think of a strong memory. The first that comes to mind. Tell me about it.
Dr. Burrow was very old. He was the last living scientist in my section of Vault 81. He was on his bed, very weak. He said to me, "Curie, you must..." And he died before he finished the sentence. Oh, my insides feel peculiar. What is that?
You might be feeling grief for a friend.
This unit has no friends, but... there. My chest is tightening when I think of poor Dr. Burrow.
The operation appears successful. But I think it will take a lot of adjustment for your new friend. She may need your help to make the transition.
Thank you, Doctor, for this opportunity. Humanity.
I heard about your signal
so
interceptor.
bumps.
Now that you've found the Institute, I hope you do the right thing.
Hey.
May I be of assistance?
Hi.
Remember, to breathe. I keep thinking if I forget to do this, no more Curie. And suddenly, all this excitement we do, there is an element of something new. What if my arm is blown off? It is not so simple to repair this now.
Are you afraid?
I suppose it could be fear, but something else as well. It is a jumble. I will be fine. It is coming to me. Quickly, I hope. Just bear with me. I am sure my research will blossom with this magnificent new hardware.
Hey.
You need something, yes?
Excuse me.
What is it?
Your thoughts?
I have so much data on the world before the atom bombs. I fear I may have to delete some of it to store my new observations.
Nothing else I needed.
As you wish. This belongs in the garbage can, yes?
Heads up.
What do you want? Trade is good.
Heads up.
What do you want? Are you giving me a present?
The mind is a very delicate thing, and you've been through a lot. Be careful out there.
place to stay? Try Hotel Rexford.
You step through the gate, you got balls.